Prime Minister Kieran Stamp had spent a lifetime constructing masks. Before the cameras, he was disciplined, measured, respectable. A former human rights barrister turned national leader, praised for defending vulnerable people and speaking with the polished certainty of a man who always knew the right words. At home, there was Eleanor, his wife of 20 years. Elegant, composed, loyal to appearances, their marriage had become less a romance and more an agreement carved from necessity. They moved through public life like actors who knew every line by heart. But Kieran carried secrets. Long before Number 10, before speeches and elections, there had been discreet arrangements. Trusted aides had organized meetings in luxury apartments under false names, hidden expenses folded into consultancy payments and security budgets. Young men from abroad, mainly Ukraine, struggling for money, had entered Kieran's orbit. Silence for sexual favors was expensive, and Kieran paid generously. Until things unraveled, 3 of the men found themselves arrested after becoming involved with organized crime. From prison, letters came, then demands. "You were a barrister. Help us." Kieran ignored them. He told himself it was survival. If he stepped in, questions would follow. Journalists loved coincidence. Opposition parties loved scandal even more. "They'll disappear," he muttered one evening, standing in his office overlooking rain-soaked London. Prison changes people. But prison had changed them in ways he never imagined. Years later, after Kieran had become Prime Minister, the warnings began. A countryside property connected quietly to one of his shell companies went up in flames. Then a city flat, one never listed publicly, in his name. Then a vehicle burned outside a gated estate. No casualties, just messages. The police called it coordinated vandalism. Intelligence officers suspected extremists. Kieran knew better. The first note arrived in a plain envelope. "You left us to rot." The second was worse. "We remember everything." He met them secretly in an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city, arriving without security for the first time in years. 3 men stepped from the shadows, older now, harder. "You forgot us," one said. "No," Kieran replied quietly. "I moved on." The tallest laughed. "You moved up?" They spoke calmly, like businessmen finalizing a contract. They didn't want revenge in the ordinary sense. No violence, no public exposure yet. They wanted influence, money redirected overseas through political channels, strategic decisions that weakened rivals and destabilized institutions, quiet chaos disguised as policy failure. They wanted him to bring his own country down, use his power to make decisions that nobody could argue with. "And if I refuse?" Kieran asked. The shortest man slid photographs across the table. Private apartments, hotel records, security timestamps. Kieran displayed in various states of undress and in precarious positions with the 3 men. "Evidence. Then Britain finds out who you really are," he said. Kieran stared at the photographs, the weight of decades crashing down around him. For the first time in years, words failed him. He had spent his whole career defending people from systems of power. Then he became the system. And now, trapped by the very secrets he buried, Kieran realized something terrifying. He was no longer Prime Minister. He was hostage to his own past. Outside, rain battered the warehouse roof like applause for a tragedy long overdue.